Greetings and welcome to the energy of Capricorn. This is Ron from Terra of the Twin Sun. Terra of the Twin Sun is a functional division within the Order of the Twin Sun. Um, we are here to seek that which in the light may come out as darkness and bring that into the light. We'll go ahead and get started. The 10th house is open. I shall be pulling a 9-card spread known as the Great Mirror. The Great Mirror is a tool devised by the Order in order to show apparent karmas that exist between you and a significant other. I shall also conduct an extended reading that should look into further layers that discuss or perhaps envelop or elaborate on certain aspects of karma that may exist between you and a significant other. Please take only what you will, and the extended will be available via link. Just email me in the About section. I'll also post in the Details section for that. We'll go ahead and get started now. Okay. So, firstly, we'll look a bit into the karma and the energy of the 10th house and Capricorn. We call on the blessings of Shani. May we, through deliverance and slowness of time, find that which is gifted. Okay. There is a meditation here that deals with the idea of hard work when it comes to really partaking in the dream. Okay? Within this dream, there are two choices. One leads to an extension of the mind into stillness. Okay? This can be a sacrifice of certain thoughts that develop over time to come out with the truth, or perhaps a way of silencing the mind completely, numbing out to the extent of overthinking. Okay? The other sort of manifestation is dealing with a way to find the chinks of an arm, or to find a way to work in tandem with others to get over the ego as well as egos of others, to conquer and essentially come into a rite of passage that leads to what? To something that's lasting in terms of a connection, something that you can develop in terms of memory or legacy, okay? The karma is very much dealing with the idea or the generation of 4, okay? 2 4s make an 8 as well, the 8 of Pentacles. So 8 of Cups, 8 of Pentacles here. Where you're coming from is a sense that you've had to leave your 7th house, okay? In order to assert what? In order to assert a sense of stillness. Stillness of the mind, as well as an ability to find union, to find a gateway, to find a platform in which to develop what exactly? Develop a sense of place, a sense of path, a sense of belonging, especially in terms of realisms. Okay, really becoming practical and essentially being gifted a great deal of things while you depart and leave away something from the past. Okay, leading to essentially, hopefully, something that resembles the Two of Cups. That is the difference between the Six of Cups and the Eight of Cups. Two of Cups versus, let's see, that would be the Four of Cups. Okay, so not really sort of desiring much in terms of the realm of love, not really expecting much from that desire, and that's a good thing. Okay, so desires are very much brought into equilibrium for the time being, and that's a good thing. There's an element of working hard and coming up with a way to produce what exactly? Produce an effect. To produce a way of purifying the dream in order to come up with, once again, two different options that lead to truth. One leads to truth, the other leads to inspiration of some sort, becoming a leader. Okay, this is leading to the path of truth, the path of Aquarius. Okay, yeah. Let me set this bicycle on the side. So, let's go ahead and begin the Great Mirror. Shall use the 130-year-older deck. That should be good enough. Love this deck. This is my favorite by far. Not the perfect deck, but very close. Now, once again, we call upon the Order of Shani, the Order of Saturn, to bring forth the obstacle that is this reality and to perhaps show the gateway into something that is stronger, a sense of purpose or evolution. We'll go ahead and pull now the significance of another and the energy of Capricorn to show the karmas that exist between the two through the Great Mirror. Okay. Okay. This is the energy of Capricorn. There is a way of thinking for the time being that revolves around the energy of Capricorn and essentially the desire that revolves primarily on the descent of man, the idea of the descent of man through the Great Mother, Eve, emerging out of the reading. And there is a sense of knowledge. This knowledge is being brought about by a great desire of the serpent's head, North Node or Rahu in Vedic. The conjunction between Mercury and the Moon is essentially bringing forward a sliver of knowledge that it comes from the axis of the past life into the future life, what we can come up with in the sense of the present by nurturing something, by letting it grow in some sort of way through the serpent's head. Now, when the serpent rears its head from the earth, there is possibly calamity, depends on the quality of light that is in the sky. If this is a bright light, serpent won't move too much. It is reptilian. Okay, so there is something about this that revolves around, once again, the North Node. So Rahu and the North Node is basically about delusion. It's also about illusion. Okay, the only way you can see the North Node is by the eclipse of the sun and the moon, in which the dark void of that is the North Node. That is Rahu. And it is something that we can contribute to in terms of our mind, especially our consciousness, in order to understand our inclinations or our bearing, our compass towards gaining something. And here this has to do with essentially a sense of health, okay, and a sense of propriety in what you commit in terms of your projects, your time, your energy, your resources, to get a sense of nurturing. Hard work is here, but a step beyond it that revolves around the energy of desire, okay? And this somewhat resembles the other, how they have a contribution to make in terms of what they have been going through. It's as if they see in you a path that revolves around this desire to bring forth realities through hard work and effort in order to nurture something, to make fertile something, okay? Um, the distance is closed in this respect. The triplicity of Earth is here, and the evolution of Earth into the energy of the 10th house from the 6th is here. The difference between that is 4 houses, okay? And that is the energy of Cancer. Now, from all of this, essentially, I'm seeing someone who's coming out of isolation into a place of reaching out, or at least to show the footprints of Shravana, of the footprints of Capricorn, okay? There's something about you that is listening, okay? And it's listening to desires. And one of the desires is to actually make, in some sort of subconscious or unconscious way, a connection with someone who has been distant for some time. What is occurring here is a possibility of great complexity, great, possibly, if you're not careful, illusion or delusion, okay? That's not a bad thing. It's good to be in the realm of fantasy, especially when seeking out a sense of home or a sense of belonging within the congruence of another, or the conjunction of another. The thing is that the truth that emerges out of this is one that requires a great understanding of the past karmas that exist between you and this other. Something about them contributes to a hidden sort of attack, or a hidden sort of slight that doesn't really affect you as much as it does on the unconscious, okay? So there is a manufacturing, if you will, of certain thoughts that affect the very soul connection here, and there's always this sort of sword, or this crown of swords that is sort of suppressing the connection's natural flow in some sort of way. I think meeting this kind of energy, this kind of person, essentially brings out about a sort of artificial way of reaction that is caused by psychological influences that need to be brought to light in order for you to have some sense of clear judgment, okay? A way of seeing things from an eagle eye, or perhaps a perspective that is a bit higher. And perhaps this is something that you are searching for, or something that you desire, okay? There is also a possibility that you are dealing with someone here that is a bit ignorant, or perhaps not learning the lesson of great karma that exists between you and this other. That this karma essentially comes about as a type of psychological block, one in which they borrow something, and there's something that cannot be said in terms of this, okay? It might be a bit confusing, but we're going to go further into certain layers on the actual soul connection in the extended that will be available. Let's see here. Yes, interesting. in terms of the great mirror here, there's something of a calling when it comes to this connection on the subconscious and magical realm. What is being called to is essentially a sense or an essence of the Six of Cups that you have been searching for quite some time. Okay, this has to do with soul connection. This has to do with someone who means something as opposed to your everyday, garbage relationship that is extremely superficial. There is something to superficiality that you would accept, but that is up to your clear judgment to discern what to cut out and what to keep in. Okay, but the karma is great, and there's something about you that is willing to pull and put in the extra work in order to utilize this connection in some sort of way, to meet someone halfway in terms of the energy of the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords in the reverse. But because of such, the drive or the motivation, the conquest, the idea of conflict and resolution that they have, that they want to express, cannot be expressed. And there also is a way of healing, a path of healing that is emerging out of this that prevents any sort of confrontation, but also a great sea of silence. Okay, now what I'm seeing here is a dual devotion, one in your own path, but also one in which you can work hard towards this one. The one that you would possibly choose is based on your actual utilization outside of this connection into things in general. Your horse or your vehicle, your path, is irrevocably being turned in some sort of respect. This has to do with the basic mechanisms of the triplicity of Earth through the energy of Taurus, okay? But also the devotion of, the double devotion, if you will, of the sixth house, okay, of Virgo energy. And that is moving towards the highest evolution, which is Capricorn energy, okay, elicited by the fourth house and 10th house axis with the 69 here, okay. This means that consciously, what is coming about here is a type of choice, okay? A choice to essentially listen to the mind or to the emotions or perhaps to messages from a higher calling, okay? A sort of gravitational pull into the black sun of the North Node. What emerges, okay, is a sense that the Eight of Rods is here. There is a great knowing, or perhaps this person is trying to bring to you something that they have learned on the path of cups, from the Eight of Cups into the Six, that is the Two of Cups, some sort of hidden love or some sort of hidden dimension that wants to be called in, okay? This is all very good, but there is an element here of campaign, a campagne, which is the Eight of Rods, some sort of intuition that is clearly known, and that is what is being developed, a sense of empowerment through intuition, okay? However, on the conscious level, what is emerging is légisté, okay? Some sort of legislation, some sort of written thing that needs to be stated in terms of communication in order to understand if things are balanced. Things may not be balanced for the time being, but with enough grounding, there's something that can be sort of brought out from the depths of the earth in order to find diamond or coal or what have you, okay? And this is all scintillating news. This can be very good. But the problem is that there is a great deal of what? Yes, of changeability and fanaticism. A type of, there's a path here of changeable fears, fears of also one to another, and fear that this might slip out, or fear that things might get too serious if it does. However, under all of this is a type of a place in it all, a way of sincerity and a way of bringing hidden forms of union, okay? So you have to be very cautious of what you're getting into here, because the writing on the wall, or perhaps the writing in contractual agreements with the significant other, can produce some great ramifications, okay? Yeah. Let's look into another layer. I'm going to add a little bit more content. I think this needs a little bit more clarification. Okay, now this is interesting. The six of Pentacles combination of Mercury energy combined with the moon's energy, the inner mind as well as the higher mind and the mind of the student are emerging, as well as the ability to legislate, the ability to pen or to make some form of union that is meaningful and not embarrassing, something that would provide a sense of closure or a sense of nowness, a sense of being in the present. Okay, this also has to do with a way of what now? Of the Four of Pentacles with the moon's energy, the purity of it all, the untouched virginal purity of all. This has to do with the challenges and the way of communication is very much elicited here, and it's very important for you to be stabilized in a way that is conservative yet changeable. Something that wants to be more flexible. The missing number is 75 plus the 6 and the 2 make the 2 of Pentacles or the 6 of Pentacles, okay? Meaning that one is willing to concede. If they do, then there's a possibility for union, okay? And that is the other party. If they concede, then there is the amplification of mercurial energy. However, if you concede, you possibly lose the reality with this person and they end up still thinking about it or perhaps wondering if they should contact or something like that. This is very complex, considering there is a strong intuitional pull to call into judgment the past, especially memories of a great connection that was possibly at one point extremely fulfilling on an emotional level, especially if you are sitting at a point that revolves around the idea of artificiality and not knowing if clear judgment is being had on certain realities that you may be trying to cut out, especially certain desires that you may be trying to cut out in terms of emotional context, and the idea that you are doing the right thing of nurturing yourself and perhaps nurturing the world around you by producing the effect of a footprint, a carbon footprint that this person follows, okay? Karma is great here, though, and there's something to learn from all of this, something that you can utilize and perhaps legislate on, something that you can write in terms of the legacy of your own soul's purpose, okay? And we shall look further into the complexity of this with the extended, if you would like. It shall be available in the detail box. We'll look further into this person's past, where they're coming from in the external world now, how they are consciously sort of evolving in terms of their solitude and coming back into something that you may desire. Okay, what can they add in terms of the elements of hard work in order to be fair to all those concerned? How can they change the karma? This is very much important, because I think there's something about you that that needs to exercise clarity, it needs to exercise judgment. We'll look into that in order to find a remedy, in order to understand if your current situations or projects are indicative of true desire, of true karma, in order to bring forward a sense of something real or something that is truthfully clear, okay? There's a lot of swords activity here, too, on the unconscious, and that's going to be clarified as well. Those thoughts about how deep this connection goes, this feeling of commitment to something, but then the stagnation of turning around and chasing the desire, chasing the idea of survival, especially. We'll look into that a bit more deeply. But if this is where we leave off, I do wish you well, and thank you for your support of the Order of the Twin Sun. Donations are welcome as well. Please look into the extended if you would like. Just send me an email and I'll get to you as quickly as possible with a link, as well as a link to my PayPal. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.